Exactly. Hashtag let's go champ. That's the catchphrase of the former Lucifer, aka Michael. An unprecedented rise again. His first grand final in the Premier Tournament in 6 years, and his first grand final for a World Championship in 14 years. Of course, a lot of experience here. He was also a WC3L MVP back in the day for Meteor Makers. His teammate back then, Moon. And now they face each other. They know each other for a long, long, long time. For WCG, they practice together so much, hundreds and hundreds of games, so Moon can take out 1-2-0. And now Mikael needs to use all this practice for himself. If there's an undead player that knows Moon inside out, it's probably Mikael.
Yes, the best undead in South Korea, not even close. He is definitely very strong and has been looking very strong lately. He is going into this, according to most of the fans, as the big underdog. Moon has been here plenty of times before. Moon has been in tons of finals recently over the last few years. For Mikael, it's been a lot fewer. We're going to have a chance to hear from him in a moment here. But, you know, there's no reason to be sure that this is where the road of surprises ends. Nobody would have thought he would defeat 1-2-0, but he did so with a 3-0. Maybe he can do it against Moon as well.
Yeah, maybe we have some translators in chat that can help us out.
저는 현장에 가서 하는 게 더 좋습니다.
我更喜欢在现场打比赛。
好的，希望下一次有机会我们能够让 Mikael 来到现场参加比赛。那么半决赛马上开始了，对手是老对手 Moon， 怎么样？在赛前有什么话想要对对手说的？
상대방 선수가 이제 문 선수인데요. 이제 서로 오래 서로 아는 사이지 않습니까? 상대방한테 이제 뭔가 한마디 해주시겠어요?
서로 열심히 해서 좋은 경기를 했으면 좋겠습니다.
希望我们两个人都加油，然后给大家呈现一个好的游戏结果。
好的，谢谢 Mikael， 希望你在接下来的半决赛有好的运气，加油！谢谢。
谢谢，再见。
再见。
All right. So the question was, of course, due to COVID, you can't be here. What do you prefer, being at home and playing, or to be in a stadium? And Mikael definitely prefers the stadium. You will play against this man now, against the greatest that is Moon. What's his response? And he said, well, I wish good luck to both of us. I hope we can perform well and put on a show. And now we take a shot into the home of Moon and hear from him.
今天是我们的决赛日了，然后现场有非常多的你的粉丝，有什么想要对现场的粉丝朋友们说的？
현장에 많은 팬들이 있는데 팬들한테 한마디 해주시겠어요?
오늘 이렇게 응원하러 이렇게 경기 관람하러 오신 팬 여러분 감사드리고요. 끝까지 최선을 다해서 좋은 경기력 보여드리도록 하겠습니다.
非常感谢各位粉丝，我一定会好好打这个比赛，给大家呈现更好的游戏。
好，那么第一场半决赛的胜出者英斐在预判的时候认为你会赢得第二个决赛的席位啊，不知道你怎么来看即将开始的这场对阵 Mikael 的比赛？
아까 그 인피 선수가 말씀하시기를 이제 모은 선수가 이번 경기에서 좀 더 이길 수 있는 것 같다고.
Moon, there's a lot of fans here. Is there anything you want to say to them?
이번 보여드리기 위해서 미카엘 선수가
Hey guys, thanks for coming. I will do my best.
때문에 절대 방심하면 안 될 것 같고 스코어상으로 3대2까지 나올 것 같습니다.
我看到在这次的黄金联赛当中，这个米迦勒选手的竞技状态特别的好，所以我绝对不可以掉以轻心。我估计比赛结果可能会在3比2。
Infi said that you will win the semifinal. What do you say about his prediction?
Thank you, Moon. Good luck.
Thank you.
好的，两位选手都已经是准备就绪了。第二场的精彩的魔兽争霸3的半决赛马上就要打响，让我们把时间交给我们的解说。
Awaiting the answer. But here we are already. Moon looks rested as we're waiting for the translation of the second question. Moon looks very well rested, in a good mood. Both of them, actually. It's really cool to see after all these years. Moon says, as everybody saw, Mikael is in a very, very good shape. I think the result will be 3-2, but he doesn't say in whose favor. Two big Korean legends clashing. The oldest players in the tournament. Moon's birthday next week. Mikael already 34 years old. Doesn't say anything about their reaction speed, about how quickly they are on their minds. Both have played amazing Warcraft in the past couple of weeks. Moon wasn't the absolute best yet.
Yeah, previous to this tournament, it was a really good performance for Moon and WCG, making it to the grand final there, only falling to Fly. But all things considered, playing very, very well. Here against WFZ, that looked very convincing. Moon probably still a level ahead of the Undead from China. But in the group stage, against Infi, there was a 2-0 that we weren't expecting, especially in that fashion where Moon, and we don't get to say this often, didn't seem to stand much of a chance.
Yeah. That's absolutely true. Moon's still second best player in the world according to the ELO ranking. Only one of two players who is above 2,500 ELO. The only one that is better than him is Happy. And this is probably his best matchup. 80% win rate. 3-game win streak against Xiao Kai, against 120, and against WFZ. He barely loses maps in this matchup. Yesterday in the quarterfinal, there was a little bit of a gamble with him playing the Beastmaster when he had the 2-0 lead. So I'm curious. Is he playing it more stable? Is he switching up tactics? Because yesterday we haven't seen one of his strengths yet, that is Mass Air.
Yeah, very surprisingly to me as well. We didn't see that at all. It was Keeper Demon play with expansion and Dryad. So Moon was aware of the fact that the later it goes, the more difficult it can be. Mass Air definitely falls off hard, whereas with Dryads, you always have a transition into a strong late game. Seems like that is the new style of Moon, and with that, probably soon to be the new style of all the Night Elves in the world. I think we get to see the map features. Not quite.
Not
Gonna
yet.
see that in a second. But yeah, Moon is going into this as the big favorite, certainly. He has been looking extremely impressive. The only Undead in the world against whom Moon looks not that stable, seems to have a bit of trouble, is Happy. But even against 120, Moon usually comes out on top. That was the same case for last WGL when they met in the quarterfinals in the last season with the 3-2 in Moon's favor. Close, yes, but a win regardless.
But on the other side, Moon this year has lost series to Mikael, especially in WFSB. The Warcraft survival battle was very close. It was a 2-1. And since then, yeah, it was the last encounter between the two. That was in September, and that was prior to their preparation for the World Cyber Games. So how good is Mikael versus Undead? We know that he can play a wonderful Crypt Lord. How good is his DK? How good is his ghoul openings? How good is his kiting? We haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, it's not too unlikely that this is going to be very macro-focused. Nowadays, in the modern day of the meta, this matchup actually sees a lot of two-base play, which is really interesting. Never used to be the case. It was Undead always rushing tier 3 off of one base, and Night Elf for a while, a lot as well. For some time, it was considered that Night Elf has to play in the late game with a base advantage to have a chance. Not necessarily the case anymore. This matchup has certainly developed a lot. But the Crypt Lord, you know, one of the most popular heroes of the last few patches, against Night Elf, not playable. Because of Demon Hunter, because of Wisps, and to a lesser extent Dryads, not playable is the Crypt Lord. With that fast expansion's harder, but we still may see it with DK Ghouls. And if Michael is feeling very wild, perhaps even Lich Ghouls, although that seems to be more of a European thing, and perhaps not as reliable against a player at the caliber of Moon.
Mikhail is very well connected to the European scene, taking inspiration from there. We definitely saw that in his mirror matches. So he's doing well. His last grand final, by the way, in a world championship was ESWC. He won that against a Night Elf with 2-0. But of course, that was 14 years ago. So we can't really take that as a comparison. Maybe it's a good luck charm or something.
Yeah, he does have the experience of these super high level games when the eyes of the entire scene are upon him. Moon is of course used to that, has been used to that for pretty much his entire career. He has over the last few years been in this situation many a time. So normally pressure, stress shouldn't get to Moon. Mikhail, is he still used to this? Does he play this now without any nervousness, or might that be a problem for him moving into this series?
It's of course always hard to judge things if we don't really understand what they say, but from what I take away from this pre-match interview is that Mikhail is here to enjoy this day. There was a big smile on his face. He didn't look nervous at all. He was just, okay, let's do this. I'm back in the top 4. I'm oozing in the spotlight. And I deserve this.
Yeah, as far as mentality goes going into this match, Mikhail has the more comfortable position. He's got top 4. He made many of his fans happy already. I'm sure over in Korea they are cheering for him. And this must be such a wonderful experience. This must feel so good for Mikhail. Top 4 is a great finish. Everything else is gravy on top. So you can play this very unconcerned here moving into the semifinal. Whereas for Moon, with the insane results that he's had and his fan base, which is pretty much every night of around the world, having such high expectations, every time Moon enters a tournament, grand final is the very least that is expected.
Absolutely true. So we talked about their Meteor Makers heritage from the 2000s, but not only that, they were also teammates in the biggest team competition that Warcraft 3 has ever seen, in WGTL. They were part of Team Rise again, and they both did very, very well. Couldn't claim the championship in the end, but they did better than most expected, and especially the 2-2s raised a lot of eyebrows in a positive sense that Moon was able to take the team championship. It was supposed to be the two brothers carrying the 2-2, but no, Moon picked that up as well super quickly. And here we go. Map picks and bans. Mikhail bans Amazonia. Moon bans Turtle Rock. We start on Terenas stand. Oh baby, this is gonna be good. And then we have Northern Isles and Echo Isles for Mikhail. Concealed Hill and Last Refuge for Moon.
You know, best of 5 series here, of course. The vetoing process is going to be a little bit limited. Understandable map vetoes. AZ for Undead, very hard to expand if that's your plan. Very hard to creep level triple hero if that's your plan. And on top of that, easy level 3 very often will be the choice there to be removed by the Undead. And Turtle Rock always has been in the past. Tough for Night Elf. I thought with the Keeper, maybe a little more reliable. You're not so much dependent on that Ancient of War to get off to a good start. But Moon removes it. Maybe because also he's not so used to it yet. After all, this map, Turtle Rock, has been reintroduced only lately, again, to WGL and other Asian competitive map pools. Bit of a shame for Moon, right? His favorite map no longer in the pool. Lots of people were asking for TM to be removed. Moon was certainly not one of them.
No, definitely not. Moon Meadows, definitely his forte, but he has a lot of other maps, by the way. This where he's strong. They both met at the DreamHack final 13 years ago. That is, I think, their only grand final they played against each other. They played each other in WEG in the semifinals, at BlizzCon semifinals, at IST semifinals, but the grand finals between them are very rare. There was a different era. There was a different Moon. There was also a very, very different Mikhail. Not even carrying the same name back then. And now 13, 14, 15 years later, they meet again. This is one of these cool stories that only the Warcraft scene can write, with the old schoolers, with the veterans putting in so much effort.
Imagine what an end of a year this would be to Mikhail if he makes the miracle complete. if somehow here he gets past Moon and then perhaps defeats Infi in the grand final, that is the most amazing thing that can happen today, that nobody thinks is possible, but nothing is impossible in the world of Warcraft 3. Mikael, with his thunderous performance against 1-0, showed this already, and he has his fate in his own hands. However, as good friends as they are, him and Moon, he's of course not gonna make it easy for him. Moon is gonna play his very, very best, and Mikael is gonna have his work cut out for him. At least there's some good game tape to review. He will have seen the games against WFZ. He will have something prepared.
Yeah.
But catching Moon off guard, very, very hard to do. Infi may have been able to do it in the group stage, but in this matchup, perhaps a little bit harder.
It definitely is going to be very, very hard for sure. Historically, it's pretty one-sided in favor of Moon. It's a 25-8, and especially in best of fives, Mikael was never able to take a best of 5. It's 4-0 right there. Usually the shorter the series is, the better the odds for Mikael, but in all the dominance of Moon was mostly in all the patches. Even patches that begins with 1.1 something. On patch 1.32, it's 4 and 2, so pretty balanced.
Yeah, it's I think less so relevant for the actual balance of the game, but more for Mikael's shape, who has been improving so much lately in this year.
Not so balanced is the fan vote that we have here on Twitch. It's 65% in favor of Moon, 35 for Mikael. And on our Instagram, it's even more one-sided. It's 80% for Moon there. Will the fans here in Europe or the West be right? Or will Mikael cause the upset? Todd is cheering hard for him. They're in constant exchange, as far as I know. Yesterday we saw Mikael, even during the games, has a visitor. I would love to know who that is. There was quite a big celebration after the quarterfinal, and he was the ultimate underdog yesterday already, and the ultimate underdog dominated with 3-0, so nothing's really impossible, as we said.
We're cutting to the stage. We're getting closer. Ladies and gentlemen, our second semifinal gonna be starting soon. We see the players here. Our first map to start things off will be Terenas Stand. Let's go.
Let's go indeed. There was a big breath going through Mikael. Moon looks pretty relaxed. He, of course, is known to be the favorite. He always is the favorite. And at the bottom right, we have our Cinderella. It is Mikael versus Moon. Game number 1. First to 3 joins Infi in the grand final.
DK seems like has to be the choice here for Mikael. We talked about earlier that Lich is popular for some players out there, but I have hardly ever seen that from Asian undeads against Night of, at least. Death Knight it is, and for Moon it is the Warden. Terenas Stand and the Warden. That just goes hand in hand so well together.
Okay. We've seen this more and more. Shadow Strike, Warden, big pressure. Moon, though, not known to have the best Warden. How will Mikael deal with this? He was oftentimes surprised when his Haunted Gold Mine was attacked, even with Human and a Blood Mage Flame Strike. But this will, of course, not be the case here. A Warden can be annoying, can harass. You have the Ghoul build here. And will it be an expansion? Is the question.
Expansion, I would think. Pretty likely. And the Warden, especially in that kind of game, 2-base, really strong. When both players are expanding, you know you're going to have time. There's not going to be too early of a push. You're going to get level 4 quickly without any problem. And level 5 can be fairly reliable as well. A level 5 Blink Fan Warden going against Acolytes can be doing tremendous economic damage. If Mikael had played a 1-base push style, this Warden might have had a tough time, but Moon had the perfect read. He was expecting the fast expansion. That is the case. The Warden is heading south. Is she going to be in time? We'll see.
No staff, but there's more wisps here. We got a Ziggurat up. is that enough? Still one creep camp here, or one creep from the camp here. Moon not detonating, taking care of that Ziggurat first. And that's level 2 for the DK. Got a Talisman of Evasion, might help him, but the Ziggurat is gone. Is Moon gonna detonate against this? Not willing to sacrifice the Wisp.
Good delay here by Moon, and I think we see the Tree of Life coming up on the other side already, so he's not committing too hard for this pressure, but he's doing a little bit of damage, delaying slightly. And the cool thing is, with this position also, he's keeping his own expansion safe. We see it here now. Tree of Life coming up, and the longer the Warden can stay here, the more likely it is this tree will be coming through. At 1900 hours, also, the Berserker and the Tele Staff becomes available, which would be getting a lot of mileage out of this game, I'm sure.
We don't see a Berserker yet, I feel. Mikhail with the second attempt of the Ziggurat. What, can she cancel this again? The Staff, of course, a valuable weapon. We see this from Foggy a lot, and from Night Elves in general on this map a lot. One, though, moves away. Expo coming up. Good number of ghouls. Nothing of importance died, really, for the Warden. It is the Laboratory second, very early on.
Always great to get with a fast level 3, a big item. And ideally, you want to scout for this. For a second, I thought he was denied the last hit, but no, he got it. Warden got the experience. Ideally, you want to scout for this. Humans especially have realized how important it is to look for Ancient of War creeps and make the Warden's life as difficult as possible. Mikhail didn't scout it, didn't see it, and now it's too late to do anything about the level 3 Warden. That is a bit of a scouting error by Mikhail, but one he, I suppose, can afford to make because he has the expansion coming. He's going to have plenty of gold here very soon, and does come in time to at least perhaps kill a few units.
Get a Wisp here. Rune Braces for the Warden, of course, excellent. One of the biggest strength of the Undead. Coil Nova Nuke with that item. Spell damage is reduced. Mikhail again on the back foot sees, okay, Fan on level 2 is coming. Gotta be a little careful. Gotta protect my Acolytes. Gotta protect my Haunted Goldmine. But that's supposed to be finished soon. And with the Surround, that's a Blink committed. That is more mana that you're not really willing to spend. But Mikhail will face more Moon pressure as she wasn't willing to use the Staff to get home.
Ancient of War so far did a great job, creeping 2 big orange camps already. Could go for another one perhaps, but actually no. For now, Moon is going to fall back. Oh, even with the detonate there, experience denied. And speaking of experience for the DK, it's not looking that rosy yet. With the instant expansion creep, you get the expansion up fast, but the progress to level 3 isn't the quickest. The Warden there definitely has a lead. If she creeps 2 more, maybe 3 more caps, she's going to be level 4. And with that, then very mobile. Would love to get to level 5 fast, the Warden here. And then after that, towards level 6. Because, of course, she has one of the strongest ultimates in the game.
Scroll of the Beast can be put to good use if no Wisps are around. But that wasn't the case for Moon at all so far. Really good Wisp positioning on the map. Always ready. Speaking of ready, Ancient of War moved from the lab to the mage for another big consumable. Moon with good building movement as well as we're getting ready for the 2-base play. And then, what is Mikhail's follow-up? Is he one of the players who goes Gargs? Old school, a little bit of a Western style. Also, of course, a big Korean style. Chinese, never really the case. Is he going into something else? Fiends, A-bombs. What's the play by Moon? Double Engine of Lore, again, no mass air.
Something that we've been seeing a little bit, especially from Vortex lately, is surprisingly aggressive tier 2 play. 3 crypts, 4 crypts, heal scrolls, and then attack super heavy on tier 2. Many Night Elves love playing this extremely greedy. They think we're in a 2-base scenario, they got the Shredder, oh, time for upgrades, second heroes, making units, not required, my Warden is gonna buy space. And if then the Undead flies in, with Gargoyles, Heal Scrolls, 60 supply, that's oftentimes how you can get a cheeky win out of nowhere. And Moon is not really scouting that much. He has a Wisp in the south, but he's not looking for those mass crits to be coming out. Those crits are very unlikely, but they are always a possibility. Just like the Warden finding kills, she's going to get quite a few ghouls over here. 1, 2, 3, quickly taken out. Could go after the 4th one, but that one I guess gets away. Warden more experience for her, almost level 4 now. And I think Mikhail is not going that aggressive. This style seems to be reserved for Europe and Vortex.
Yeah, for sure. He got a claw though and made sure that the big creep goes to him with the last coil he got. And that seems rather standard so far. Still options to go heavier into A-bombs, heavier into fiends down the road. Moon was investing a lot into mercenaries, which will be a big experience boost in the early mid game once they get sniped. But for now, he got his favorite weapon. He got Dryads out.
Beautiful scout there by Moon, by the way. He revealed the main base, and the Wisp checked the natural, so he actually was aware of how many crits might be coming down. So even with how rare this strategy is in Asia, the mass Gogs Ghouls, Moon was checking for it, and had he seen mass crypt, he would have not gone tier 3, he would have got a lot of mercenaries and dryads and archers and whatever it takes to hold on. So far, a very impressive looking game by Moon. He's got his tech coming in, lumber is low at the moment, but he's got a shredder already. Moon firing from all cylinders, and even if it's not been the most bloody game so far, Moon seems to have quite a bit of a lead already.
Okay, Mika is getting fiends though, the hard counter 2 dryads. Moon has a lot of resources in gold, but very... Oh, that's Mikael. Very high gold, but very low lumber. For Moon, everything seems to be fine. Very confusing overlay, to be honest. Acolyte goes down, but that was just for the scout. Supply-wise, Mikael has the lead. Lich is out as well, spamming the first Nova. And Moon is not in a position to do anything yet. Needs to power up. We got a big mana potion. That is great. Especially for the harass later on. Or to pop it to get an ultimate out later. Moon, suspiciously close to the tavern.
Yeah. Panda second is very strong in this kind of a game. There's going to be tons of units at all times. And here is the Panda. I was wondering if perhaps he wants to delay the hero a little bit to stay in no upkeep longer. 51 supply. Seems like it might be worth it to detonate a Wisp right now. Like that one in the bottom left. But even if you're losing a bit of gold, that's fine. It's more important that you get the experience on the map. And in fact now, Moon is back down to 50 supply. So is Mikael. So we're still saving quite a few gold coins. But with how much money the Undead has here, if Mikael wants, he can go up to 70, 80 very soon.
I agree. I like his position. Now the ghouls are back. They will be harvesting lumber again. It's very close to the graveyard here, so the return is going to be fast. Moon needs to buy time for the Panda. With the Warden, that's the space creator role now. She's not the craziest fighter like a Blade Master or a Lich, but she's super annoying, great mobility, can always cause damage as long as she has mana. But she joins the Panda. And now Hippos.
Now this is the Moon late game 2-base style. Mass bears, mass hippos, few dryads. And also plenty of upgrades. Last hit there, going to Mikael, the Panda, still far away from level 3. This is a bit of a scary timing for Moon. He definitely doesn't want to fight yet. Ideally, he wants to get 80 supply, his potent army, good upgrades, and Warden 5, Panda 3, and then he's really strong. Until then, Moon is going to bide his time and not going to overextend. Well, would you look at that? Mikael here with an Acolyte bottom left, ready to perhaps expand again, but lumber a little bit low right now.
Dude, he goes for a Crypt Lord against Night Elf. When do we ever see that? Also, what I really love compared to WFZ is Frost Armor second. We've seen Dark Ritual second yesterday, and it's nice to have mana. But especially if the Warden has Rune Braces, just having more sustain, more armor, being able to slow down melee units is the better choice, period. Once again, Mikael closer to the meta than WFZ. Moon at the moment just a ward to give information out. Mikael with 70 supply. Moon as well. Pushing. But not there yet. It will take some time. And Mikael can get ready. No mana potion yet. We do have an... Oh my god. Moonstone and mana potion and heal scroll and scroll of the beast and an Ankh. That's a crazy inventory. Moon is trying to get a third base up as well.
The Wisp down there. in the bottom left. I think it didn't see the Necro. I'm not sure if it's seeing the Haunted Gold Mine right now. It feels like if Moon saw it, he should have been staffing over there quickly. The Warden could be able to get the cancel there solo, but perhaps that scout is just barely missing. Or maybe now the army is intended to get the cancellation. Moon moving out in force, 74 supply, 2-1 upgrades already, and these upgrades will just be getting stronger and stronger. This is a crucial moment of this game. This should be a cancel for Moon, and with the Warden harassing as well at the expansion, Moon might be able to get the third cancel of the opponent and expand himself for a third base at the same time. Great play by Moon.
As so often, good distraction, wasn't too expensive for Mikhail. And now he needs to figure out what's happening in the upper right or smash this fight, or ideally both. We got 3 heal scrolls on the undead side. The bears won't be a problem. They will be dealt with easy with Impale and with Coil and with Nova. What about the heroes? What about the giants? What about the air? So far the kiting game looks good. Breath of Fire does a lot of damage. Of course the AoE, one of the biggest strength of Moon here with Fan of Knives and with Breath of Fire. Crypt Lord in trouble. He's a good tank. There was a little bit of healing. This panda is in trouble as well. Crypt Lord, will he survive? It looks low. Last second. That was not too many units killed. Moon used the staff. Mikhail lost a couple of consumables, but that's about it.
Yeah, it's sort of similar to the early late game stages before against WFZ on Terenas stand, where Moon doesn't have his perfect army yet. He's still kind of blocking some of his supply with subpar units, lots of Dryads, lots of Berserkers. The Hippo numbers aren't there yet. When it's only 4 to 5 Hippos, they just get webbed, they don't do anything. Once you get to 8, 10, 12, 14 Hippos, that's when they take over. But at the moment, we're not there yet. And Mikhail was able to realize that fact pretty well and then have a good fight right there. Also having the heal scrolls, so important. Having the heal scrolls against the Panda and the Warden. And there's still 2 in the inventory here for Mikhail. He's pushing across the map now himself. So he got mana potions.
With an interception, though, everything is split. That's not a position you want to be in. Abomination coming in. The burrow is nice, but you want the damage. You need the damage desperately. Maybe he has to TP out here, but then the expansion should be safe. Trying to reunite his army, but that's so tricky. Statues being taken off, and the... Oh my! Just melts this Crypt Lord. Not easy to keep him alive against all this focus fire. Abomination is falling as well. Moon with a perfect engagement as it seems. Mikhail is falling in supply. His DK is very low as well. And the Fiends don't do anything. They're just chilling in the ground, getting revealed now, getting burned now. What a disaster!
But the Expo is about to be finished. Moon lost a lot there as well, dropping down to around 60. This was close to turning in Mikhail's favor. If he can stay there a little bit more, maybe with 1 more heal scroll, then suddenly the Night Elf heroes run out of mana, and that's when Moon would be in serious trouble. He's making it back to the Moonwells now. Mana gonna be restored on the Warden, but the Panda has nothing at the moment. However, the big mana potion still to use. This next fight might determine the game if Moon can hold at the expansion.
Okay. Both are pushing. Mikhail can't TP. Yeah, he can TP if he wants to, but he doesn't have one. So this push has to work. We're playing a little bit of a game of chicken. If Moon pulls back, then the expansion is ready. Warden willing to defend alone, trying to buy a little more time. Oh my god, all these Fiends corpses hurts. And there's not much firepower here. Of course, he's getting Fiends back fast, but they're also expensive. And then Mikhail kills the Expo. It's a 1-for-1 trade, but Moon can just push forward.
Okay. Can he kill that expansion position? There's plenty of towers right there. The undead army is fast. Why didn't he TP?
Maybe he thought he gets 2 for 1. Big healing, big mana.
I don't think he's going to get it, though. He's trying for it, but the undead army is coming in. Bears are going to take a lot of damage over here. Of course, standing on Blight already. Oh, suddenly the bear damage connects to the Haunted. Is the Acolyte repair enough is the question. We don't have too many Acolytes left. And he does get that snipe. Great job here, sniping the Acolytes the way he did with the spells. Breath of Fire and the Fan of Knives. And suddenly, Mikhail down to only 1 mining base. But big army.
Pretty easy execution there, if you ask me. 2 bases for Zilch. Okay, got 1 base down, but there is new trees of life spreading in the upper right, maybe in the bottom left as well. This could also be another AP, just to make sure that Mikael is not expanding, because he needs that double income. He's broke at 70. It's the AP. All right. Moon still with double, soon to be triple income. 74 supply upgrades apparently should be good as well, I think. Still a lot of mana to be used for Mikael. Clinges on to the heroes. Getting close to 5-4, maybe even 2. Heal scroll for Moon. No TP. Okay, there's a TP on the Panda this time. On the other side, Mikael refusing to buy a TP. Trying to re-establish the second base.
I'd love to see this Warden a little more adventurous. She's level 5, she can hunt after these acolytes really well. She always has the staff to get out. Maybe a little concerned with the Impale. This staff will not always get you out of trouble when you're facing off against a Crypt Lord. In fact, now she's kind of stuck there on the island, but Blink is ready again. And she gets out.
Yeah, with Blink and staff, there should be no way really to kill her. And until then, she can do damage. Super annoying, but very, very effective playstyle by Moon. He knows the progress on the Haunted Goldmine now, and Mikael is back to 2 bases as well. But the problem lays in the upper right. Can he push that base again? Can he destroy that base again? Can he commit to that base if Moon is on 2? Mains are mining out in 3 minutes.
Oh, a few free kills here at the ghouls. Lumber is still looking good for Mikael. He's not going to miss them too much, maybe. But this is valuable experience moving towards level 6. And the Warden's going to get all of them.
Okay, Mikael has good lumber, so that's not the biggest issue. That's of course 3 kills. The Warden is not part of this fight though. So can the Panda do it alone? The Destroyer's getting caught with a coil. Big Impale against the Bears, who are basically no part of this fight either. But he can't get control of these Hippos too much. Needs the web to save that Destroyer once again. Still big mana, but he doesn't care too much about this. Maybe wants to use it aggressively, but Heal Scroll is ready for Moon. Level 4 on the Lich, big damage increase, but where's the army for Mikael? It's down to 60. The rest of the Fiends are burning. That's the Panda level 5. He's gonna be down 2 very, very soon. And that should be game here. Everything is so hurt. Mikael dropping down to 50 supply. And it's just a demonstration of force by Moon, the best Night Elf versus Undead in the world.
This was a very close game though, through large parts. It was the interception in the top right, which put Mikael behind, and then the game was problematic. But if he has a bit of a better fight there, if he has one more heal scroll, if he can weather the storm of the spells a little bit better, if he can hold on a little bit more, if all heroes run out of mana, the Undead is going to be heavily, heavily favored. And it may have looked clear in the end there, but Moon, if he has a little too weak of an army, if he cannot do the damage quickly enough, if Mikael holds on, he could have turned that around. Mikael was playing triple hero. If he stabilizes on 3 bases and he gets 5-5-3 hero levels, that is crazy strong. Arguably quite a bit stronger than the Warden Ultimate. So this was a really close one, and Mikael shows that he is definitely performing here. May have not gotten the 1-0 lead, but still with a good game.
Yeah, he can hold his ground, for sure. The first fights look good, but in the end, Moon just with a little bit smarter execution, with the great timing in the upper right. And I think this will probably be the meta for the rest of the series. Not too much air on Moon's side. Standard builds by Mikael as well. And this is pretty much head-to-head. I like it.
So it seems like with both being so willing to go fast expansion as well, if the map allows it, we might be seeing a lot of 2-base play. And that is possible on lots of our maps nowadays. Especially Echo Isles comes to mind. Amazonia has been vetoed. That one's hard to expand. Turtle Rock has been vetoed. That one's hard to expand. So both are absolutely willing to take this into a 2-base direction. LR, Echo, and Northern Isles. All of those are possible. Concealed Hill, that one is going to be a little bit rough. Also a specialty of Gargoyles might be displayed. Mikael used to play that a lot in the years past. But Moon seems to be ready for pretty much everything.
Yeah, I agree. So far, at least, when we judge from the playoffs. To be honest, WFZ's Garg style wasn't really impressive, so I would love to see how this works with 2 Crypt. With the good old lame style, but Moon's multitasking, historically amazing. Super hard to beat, and maybe that is why Mikael is not willing to go into that direction.
Demon Hunter, Keeper, Warden. Anything's possible here. Moon has so many strong styles. The Beastmaster, the one that doesn't work out. This is probably the move that wins the game right there. Was Mikael a little over-aggressive? Over-ambitious? If he just keeps the DK with the rest of the army in the back, gives them the aura, and makes sure he doesn't get blindsided like this could have been much better for him. He's got the expansion coming up right now. At this point in the game, he has the Expo coming up. Does Mikael have to push across the map?
I think he wanted to do the same move that Moon did later, just distract. There he had the TP still, but he was caught in that fight. I think even if he's TPing out, then he got Moon stuck on the upper right-hand side and can still get that Expo up and can defend on his side. But staying in there, trying to get kills, was a little too ambitious, and that's the one move that lost him the game.
Even that fight here, with how strong Moon is, it wasn't looking completely disastrous. Once he runs out of heal scrolls, that's when it all turns around. But if he has one more heal scroll, or 2, which of course don't come for free, could have been decent. But because once again, the hippo problem reveals itself. At some point, the hippos are gonna all be webbed and died. Moon never got to the crazy numbers, but the heroes were able to do it for him there in the end, where the Lich dies. But look at that. Suddenly the Warden and Panda are out of mana, and just as they're out of mana, fortunately the fight was won. If Mikael holds on a little bit more, the mana is out, and the fight isn't won, that is always when the Undead turns it around.
Yeah, especially if you have a statue ready as well. Then you can stay in there for a long time. So a couple of things to fix for Mikael, and then he has decent chances. Depends, of course, on the maps a little, and Mikael goes to Echo Isles.
That is the map where fast expanding was brought to the highest competition. First, where it was pioneered by 120. He tried with that style for a long time. He was failing quite a few times against Lawlight and Moon with a fast expansion, but he perfected it over time. And soon after that, many undeads around the world started adopting it, having found confidence in fast expo. Used to be considered completely unplayable and a bad idea for undead who always wanted to rush tier 3, but nowadays, meta and strategy isn't so simple, so black and white anymore. There's lots of strategic variety between all the races nowadays, and that makes for a very interesting meta.
Indeed. Interesting that Mikael picks Echo Isles, 40% win rate only. Maybe that is due to the recent meta changes that he's adopting to that style, to that map. Moon, 72% win rate, slightly below average. That's kind of crazy. So, will Moon get the 2-0 just as he did against WFZ and go into his third WGL Grand Final? He's aiming for that second title that only Infi, TH, and 120 have at the moment. And of course, all the Night Elves are hoping for Moon to win this so they can get their Night Elf Cathedral as well. We go for a Demon Hunter this time.
And a really cool Ancient of War creep route. It's not the very conservative at the green. It's not the greedy at the Mercamp, but it's the very rare at the gold mine instantly. Which, by the way, is only doable on one side of Echo Isles, which is a little bit weird. You can do it on the left position, not on the right. So a little bit lucky here for Moon, I suppose. But this is really cool. There's going to be lots of experience for the Demon Hunter right away. He's going to get almost to level 2, needing only one more skeleton to unlock evasion. And also it opens up, most importantly, the natural gold mine right away for Moon to be able to expand. And Moon, it seems like that's where he's feeling most comfortable, playing with a 2-base, and has absolutely no problem allowing the undead to 2-base himself. Other Night Elves from Europe, like Foggy, for example, he really doesn't like playing 2-base. If Foggy sees a fast expanding undead, he almost always goes in against it. Oh, look at that Wisp detonate, by the way. Goes all in against that and tries to pressure that way. But Moon is fine, taking a 2-base. He trusts in his late game bears and hippogriffs.
First skeletons detonated. Didn't catch the DK. So we can use coils. And of course there is skulls again. And against that skull, there's no detonate this time, as it was on Terenas stand. So easy creep here. Ring of protection for Mikael. Ring of protection for Moon. Demon Hunter certainly a little bit happier about that than the DK is. So looks like pretty much the same strategy for Mikael. Very fast expansion for Moon again.
That should be before the tech, right? There's no way you can afford it this early otherwise.
Well, it's Moon, so it not necessarily must be, but it is.
Yeah, okay. Otherwise, there would be some Chimiko lumber hacks going on, but for a second I thought, is he not expanding? But yes, he is.
You should cancel that soon, I guess. Yeah,
Mika has to cancel and has to run across the map and cancel himself. This is very important. He cannot fall into the trap right now of chasing after the Demon Hunter. That would be a game-losing play. He needs to get the cancel himself. And then we're going to go for a plan B game plan of going for a tier 2 tech after all.
Okay, that's level 2. Moon not detonating that Wisp here. Wasn't in time. And we do have the tier 2 tech started for Moon. Mikael, will he follow this up? He think he saved the Acolyte to the bottom turtle spot. But Moon is scouting for that. Both are playing on a very high level early game.
Yeah, and he's going for the boots right now to get back fast, and for the staff as well on the demon, very importantly, to be able to stab onto the Wisp. Oh, this is so great. They're both making all the right moves and testing each other and doing the right counterplay at all times.
Yeah, if you practice 100 games with each other, that's a lot of games, and you know probably what the other is up to and how strong he is with what strategy. So Demon Hunter cancels this again. Really like that play so far. Mikael is causing some trouble on the left-hand side. It's now going for creep. Yeah, ghouls creep these berserkers really fast. And that takes unique experience from the map.
Speaking of Berserker, we have the first one for Moon. With that, it's going to have plenty of damage against the ghouls. Demon Hunter is going to show up. Doesn't like that the DK here gets an experience lead, even if it's not by that much. With the boots, perhaps the demon can run down for some kills. But against the aura, also not that easy. Look at the Wisp timing. He threatens the surround for half a second. Instantly, the Wisp shows up and is like, are you sure, bro? You sure you want to do this?
Yeah, he also has a staff. Like, surrounding, maybe not the greatest option if it's not against this ogre. Demon Hunter threatening a last hit. Who's gonna get it? Mikael did. And the replenishment potion, which is amazing.
Very good control there to ensure the experience going towards him. Level 3, a big game changer, especially for the Demon Hunter. For the DK, it's nice, but realistically, you're going to have like 2 coils to use over the next 3 minutes, so it's not that much. But the fast level 3 Demon Hunter to start burning super heavily the second hero of the Undead, that can make a massive difference. And the second hero is the Lich, by the way. Lich, Fiends, Slaughterhouse. We're moving into a pretty standard composition here.
Okay. No expansion on the Undead side. Just the typical stuff. Moon going for a Hunch Saw, indicating lures. Is it Naga second? Yep, it is.
Yeah, Moon is normally really good at rushing level 3 Demon Hunter early, harassing that then with that one, and the Naga creeping up in the meantime. But here with that early game, this Demon Hunter was taxed to be so aggressive, he wasn't able to creep level 3. You see the first gargoyle, by the way. I thought that was a fiend, I was mistaken. It's a single gargoyle to scout, to check things out, to harass a little bit. But one Garg isn't that painful against the Wisps.
Yeah, I'm still not the biggest fan. WFZ did it as well. Maybe I just failed to see the big purpose. Scouting is of course nice. Delays the creeping though. Oh, we catch the Naga off guard with the Coil Nova. That's pretty scary. Demon Hunter doesn't have a staff. There's the coil, there's the kill.
and the Nova follow-up. Another
Big
archer goes
moments.
down. Losing that Berserker would have been extremely painful, but at least that one survives. Moon getting caught with his pants down a little bit. The Demon Hunter was scouting around. Wasn't expecting the Undead to suddenly show up, but he did. And some impactful kills for Mikael. This could be the momentum shift for him to now finally expand.
Okay. Yeah, he needs to do something about that economy. Can't allow Moon to just have 2 base, 1 base all the time. That just doesn't work. And he wants to counter expand, but Moon shuts it down by killing this Acolyte. Mana burn again. Archer probably saved.
No. Against the Aura, hard to get away, but really good snipe of the Acolyte. Moon is playing a very strong disruptive game, but it comes at a price. No creeping on the Naga of any kind. Demon Hunter kind of underleveled as well. Moon is going to rely a lot on his economic advantage and army numbers. Very Foggy-esque, sort of, the game plan here, where Mikael is still not able to set up that second base of his. But he's going to tier 3, and with that, a lot of upgrades will be unlocked soon.
Yeah, Mikael is supply stuck at the moment, needs another Ziggurat before tier 3 arrives, then Frenzy, Destroyer, and the Orb. Moon should be on tier 2, right? For a long time.
Yeah, he has to mass on tier 2. Can't afford tier 3. He's gonna get overrun if he goes tier 3. Only if he has a big advantage later on can he afford that. At the moment, he certainly doesn't have it. Tier 3 is done. Frenzy is coming. Orb for the Lich, and off we go to the push. Mikael with a supply lead. Moon, is he ready?
Is it just me, or is this dude talking a lot more than usual?
Yeah, I think they have the sound of multiple observers, so I think that's why he's speaking that much. But Mikael gets the Scroll of the Beast here. Could be impactful, but always the question is, are there wisps around? Then perhaps suddenly not so impactful anymore. Mikael will keep the item, not selling it in favor of something more reliable. Heading south, and now, after all, expanding. He's going to use this push as distraction for the expansion to come up, and for once, Moon doesn't have a Scout Wisp there anymore.
Okay. It's a little bit of a Mikael special. Not too many players play that Tinker push anymore. It felt a little out of favor recently. Is he ready for this? The Pocket Factory can be very strong.
Against expansion, then against riots, Tinker Factory always pretty good. Sometimes he gets burned a few times and then he doesn't have spells anymore, not that impressive there. But if he gets burned, the DK and Lich don't. You can use the Coil Nova there right away. Throw the Beast popped. Oh, that tree in trouble.
Huge commitment, detonates all over the place. Mana's burned. Demon Hunter super low though, and out of that fight. Attention swapped a little to the Dryads, but guess what? He recommits to the Tree of Life. Is there more Clockworks coming? Not really, but the ghouls eat the tree! And that was well done. Demon Hunter is back in the fight, though.
Mikael could have TP'd out after that kill right away. Microing with ghouls against Rise very hard. The demon is surrounded! Is the staff ready? If not, it's the TP. Staff wasn't ready, but the TP was. Good trade here for Moon towards the end, getting far ahead in supply, but he lost the expansion, and the Undead is finished, the Wisp is there, but there's no towers here yet. Moon still has a good window to be aggressive against the expansion. However, once there's 2 towers there, he's gonna be in trouble.
Yeah, can he hatch this expansion and make use of it? Moon. 10 supply lead. Heroes may be exposed. 1 potion now. And Mikael, by the way, had no TP, so that was really risky. If that doesn't work, the game is over.
This is a really good series so far here. They're both playing around each other really well, realizing each other's weaknesses and strengths, and trying to punish the opponent, looking for holes. This is a lot more even than I thought it was going to be honest with you. I'm very surprised with Mikael, but does he have enough in the tank to hold off against this Night Elf force right now? Definitely a bigger army for Moon. However, also only a tier 2 army. Only Dryads. But of course, here it comes with the caveat. These are Moon Dryads. They are better than they usually are. But Mikael's gonna get it. Let it go. Didn't unsummon. Losing a bit of gold here. But that may be intentional. to force Moon to stay down there, so Mikael creeps up a little bit more. These hero levels are starting to look quite good for the end.
Love the scouts by Mikael. He has one in the bottom left, one in the Moon's base, one checking the middle as well. There is a creep check now, and there's still no TP. Mikael has to fight this. Is he ready? 50 supply against 54, but as you say, the hero levels are superior at the moment. What was the item? Parrot of Vitality. Okay, Gargoyle again, scouting that expansion, putting some pressure on it, and Moon retreats.
No disease cloud yet for Mikael. That's the big problem. If he had it, these A-bombs would be a lot stronger. Oh, it just finished. Just a second ago. One Archer will be sacrificed to ensure that the mercenaries make it back home. Double Berserker for Moon. That's a lot of potential experience.
Still tier 2, still stuck with Dryads. Forced to break upkeep, even this 54 supply, just to get that 1, 2, 3 units out. He needs to mass. He never acquired the mass. AP, of course, very smart, was building that in the south pretty much all the time.
AP gonna get killed off here now. If these towers finish, the Dryads cannot go into this position anymore. Lich hits level 3, the Naga for Moon far forward, and Mikael realizes it, finds the weak point of the army. She does make it back here to decent position once again. Dryads kited very well, as always, of course. But Coil Nova once more, Naga still in trouble.
And now it's time for the mercenaries. Mikael maybe willing to go for more experience. Naga level 3. There's no mana anymore. The Demon Hunter did a good job with the level 2 mana burn. Naga always forced to the back. The heroes are brawling in the middle. The Tinker falls rather low. Is there a potion somewhat? There's a mana potion on the DK. He can coil if he wants to. Will immediately be burned. Gotta be careful with that. Mikael dwindling in supply as it seems. Demon Hunter is cleaning house, but how long can he stay? Fork Lightning, that Tinker gone. Step on the Demon Hunter without mana burn. What can you do now though? Potion popped immediately. There's the Coil Fiend alive. Demon Hunter instantly back. The statue, they're doing a great job. But oh my, that Dryad just barely surviving with that. The staff gets through and Moon cleans house.
That was so close once again. Almost the hero kill. Mikael is always just one tiny step behind Moon, but just barely, time and time again, Moon comes out on top. He's making use of all of his resources. The heal scrolls, the potions, the staffs, the moon wells, and just barely Moon comes out on top every time. But it's so close. One after the next. Mikael, maybe a little over-ambitious to try to set up this expansion. He could have just as well camped very safely in his main, gotten Zigus there, and then go to 70, and then he could have been easily able to counter-expand safely. However, if he does that, it takes a lot longer, and by then Moon would have started attack towards tier 3. So it was a hard decision for Mikael to go for. He went for the more dangerous line, and Moon, as always, was there to punish it.
Both still at 50. Moon's bank is not too big. Naga may be a liability in the late game. There's nothing to creep really. Moon is stealing the turtle. Big. Gets the Demon Hunter level 4. It's more tanky. And now he's kind of forced into expanding. I don't think without the ghouls another surgical strike on the expansion works that well. What's it now? Naga with the heal scroll and invul. Pendant of energy. More Fork Lightning. Moon willing to stay at 50.
Yeah, Moon got far enough ahead with all those kills. He doesn't have to force the issue necessarily anymore. He's got the tier 3 coming, and soon he's going to be able to transition to a better army. But if he can find a decent opening, he's still going to go for it. However, seems like he doesn't want to risk it anymore. Would be dangerous here for Moon to go in. This could backfire really quickly. So finally, Mikael will be getting to his second base.
Is it in
But Moon is
time
getting
then?
ready.
Willing to fortify this as well. This is a lot of resources now. Moon going for upgrades. Moon going for bears. He's going to tier 3 finally. Both are finding time for their ultimate state. Tier 3 Night Elf, 2 base undead.
Mikael here in a bit of a weird spot. To get the necessary acolytes, he has to go into upkeep right away, so no saving gold for him. Whereas Moon, quite rich. 900 gold already. And with the aggressive positioning for him on the map, he can assess pretty well when a dangerous attack from the undead might be coming in. And the answer to that is not for a while. Right now, Mikael is concerned with setting up his economy. Oh, and Moon is doing this so well, trying to snipe a few acolytes here and there.
1,200 gold for Moon. He can explode into supply once he's willing to. Demon Hunter catching hits, of course, not really an issue. He wants to hang around. He wants to burn. And then he can be staffed out, going to the Moonwells again.
How much value he's getting just out of a few heroes and dryads being able to prevent mining kill of acolytes. Really impressive. The thing is, though, Moon isn't at the moment in the position with the very strongest late game outlook. Demon Hunter Naga is decently strong for the late game. It's not the same as a Panda Warden. It's not the same as a tri-hero combo. For triple hero, it's too late. Also, he's stuck on a lot of dryads. Those are gonna suffer against piercing damage, against wagons, against disease cloud. Whereas Mikael, if he gets up to 70 supply with a heal scroll or two, he's gonna be very, very powerful. Once again, upgrades will have to be the way for Moon to get an advantage.
Hippo's coming again. Moon going for his very late game composition. Figured out that that's the pinnacle of Night Elf at the moment in this matchup. Invo potion on the DK this time. 1 invul on the Demon Hunter, close to 5. No real level ups for the undead here, but Mikael holding his ground in supply.
How many hippos does Moon need? It feels like 7 are the minimum. But if you go 7 hippos and you already have that many dryads, you don't have can't go too many bears. Oh, one bear getting sniped right away. No staff for that one. Creepjack suddenly out of nowhere, but Moon is finished with the camp. Few fake bears here, the illusions. We don't see a single destroyer yet. Ah, there it is. Okay.
Can he dispel?
Finally, we have some Destros.
Okay, he knows. There's at least 2, and he gets 2 bears. Rare mistake by Moon to not reset the rally point or park the bears somewhere. Also moves them in a depth form. Easy to kill.
It's more experience for the Tinker, by the way. If he gets level 3, he suddenly becomes strong, and the DK on 5 as well. Of course, the Naga. Uh-oh. And again, she's far forward. Sometimes mispositioned here, it seems. Moon could just TP out. He's not doing it. He's looking a little stubborn right now.
Willing to buy a little more time. I wonder for what. The illusion easy to deal with the destroyer. Gives the destroyer mana and HP even. There's staffs on 2 heroes. Curious, the berserker is dying as well, and that's finally the TP. That was interesting to say the least by Moon, and now Mikael can even put a little pressure on the expansion if he wants to, but rather falls back. Rather gets to the ultimate 80 supply.
Yeah, I think Moon's intention there was stick around and throw out a lot of burns, reducing the mana, if after that, after the TP, it comes to a real fight. But he was only able to really burn the Tinker. It was hard for the Demon to get into position for the rest, because he doesn't have the boots anymore. Boots are on the Naga. I don't really like that. Doesn't have a TP anymore now, but he does have the double staff. 80 supply now for Moon, but it's a lot of dryads. This is not the best late game army.
2 invo potions for Mikael. He's willing to take that fight here, or at least poke a little. Also has a heal scroll, also has a mana potion. Inventory looking good. Now, no TP for Moon. If he's getting caught in a bad spot once again, he's stuck there. But that shouldn't be the case, as the map is empty now. Fiend re-rallied to not walk into Mikael.
Great thing for Mikael is his lumber is always looking good. Always looking exceptional. Still, I must have like 5 or 6 ghouls or so in the main base. And should be converting that into upgrades, because Moon certainly is. He's got 2-1 at the moment. He's got 3-2 queued. And that goes for his entire army. Mikael should be upgrading the damage of his fiends. Maybe the armor of his A-bombs.
Would now love to see a meat wagon. He doesn't have the free supply anymore, but it would be great to put pressure on that tree and force Moon into a push, maybe in an unfavorable position.
Yeah. This is always a really tough spot for any race to attack an undead or to deflect an attacking undead. This little choke point down there. Demon Hunter gonna get focused, but Mikael going far out of his safe position for this one. Finally, Moon finds the opening to go in with the bears. The damage connects fairly well. Mana burns have landed on the Tinker mostly. Still lots of Novas and coils are available, but Mikael doesn't want to stay in this anymore. He's gonna TP out, losing one more A-bomb. But he didn't lose that much. He lost like 10 supply max. That was an okay fight for the undead.
Can rebuild really quickly. Can he rush to the shop? That is Moon's job here. 70 gold in the main. Moon already mined out. We had this crazy game by Mikael versus Remind in the WGTL where we mined out Amazonia. Will this happen here as well on Echo?
It very well could, but until then, it's going to be a little while longer. Oh, a new building coming up there from in the main. I wonder what that is for Mikael. Is that temple? That doesn't seem to make sense. Ah, sacrificial pit probably, I guess, for Shades. Would love to see him deny the acolytes here and go for one wagon. Just one wagon to spread the disease could make such a big difference.
As I said, I'd love to see that as well. Worm. Absolutely not viable. Too expensive. Oops, that fiend was praising him before, but
Blessing in disguise. Yep. Blessing in disguise. Supply for a wagon now. Let's go.
He had that before and didn't go for it.
There's something in the slaughter.
This next fight is gonna be so decisive. Demon Hunter 5, Naga 4. Once again, not the crazy level ups around for Mikael.
Mana burns hurt, but so does the focus fire. Demon Hunter doesn't have an ring of protection anymore. Of course, with dual hero, you run out of inventory space really fast. That's perhaps something that Mikael could look towards. The marketplace. He could buy pendants, he could buy claws.
So
he can
out of
still get a little
position,
stronger
though.
with items.
So out of position. I think shop control is more important than that.
Ghoul's backpack.
A little risky, don't you think?
Where there's a will, there's a way. Is there a wagon now? I'm curious. Something came in from the main.
Shade Scouts. An abomination.
Okay.
This might be the mistake. Especially if you are the one being pushed. Can keep it so safe behind the towers.
Mikael is keeping one acolyte in the main at all times. I like that a lot. Always want to have that available in case you need to go for some emergency on summons.
Man. Mikael's upgrades, we just saw them. Only 1-0. Oh, not going for it at all. Catching up with the 3-3 of Moon is going to take some time.
How is he only 1-0? What? This game has been going forever. Three shades. All right. You like his vision. He's got 4 shades, actually. Hell yeah.
Now going for upgrades for the Fiends. More damage. What's the time to push? Moon is the one mining out earlier, right?
Yes. Quite a bit earlier, I think. Should be a few thousand gold earlier. Yeah, on these small maps, like Echo and AZ, oftentimes you're kind of stuck in this weird situation in the late game. There's nothing to creep anymore. There's nowhere to expand anymore, so yeah. What is the next thing to do? It's not very clear.
Both trying to figure this out. Little time to breathe, little time to think. Nobody wants to make the move. Nobody seems satisfied with his position yet. Mikael's bank, a lot bigger.
The Shade still on a mission. Oh, look at those Burrow plays trying to catch some hippos. It's kind of cool.
Not trying to jinx it or something, but we have seen draws on this map. At the very first WGL, for example, Moon versus Yumiko. 5.5 years ago. Oh,
一
pretty
位
much
玩家
5
的
years
部
ago.
队正遭到攻击。
Second attack upgrade finished.
Yeah.
Mikhail should definitely be going for the third one right after.
Is there a necessity for Mikhail to push at all?
Not really.
He can just stand at his expo, right? So it's a lot about who's getting impatient, who feels he has to do something.
Yeah, the thought that's probably crossing his mind is he might be worried that Moon just set up his perfect 100 supply army with 3/3 upgrades and scrolls. Maybe Mikhail wants to be disruptive before that. But he's got shades looking absolutely everywhere, so he's gonna see when 100 supply production starts.
We got a couple of breaking news during this game here. I think we have the time to talk about it, as the Chinese fans have reached the second stretch goal of this tournament, and that is now 500,000 RMB. That equals to 76,500 US dollars.
That's super cool.
That is indeed great.
Wait, is that official? Because on the page it is. It doesn't display that it's reached it yet.
Well, I got this info from Wong. Wong usually has good sources. Maybe it's not in real time.
Still lots of gold.
一位玩家的部队正遭到
Another shade taken out. One more shade going down, and then he can afford a wagon.
They will go into 100, won't they? This will take a while until we're mined out. Or is someone losing patience? Poking a little. Thing is, Moon has the shop control here. But Mikhail can be happy with his inventory. Like 2 heal scrolls, 2 involts. Moon is slot starved anyway.
Yeah, in case you guys don't know, on tier 3 in the undead shop, there's heal scrolls there as well, so
Yeah.
Mikhail can get them from there. Alright, high upkeep, off we go, 92 supply. More upgrades for Mikhail also coming in. And the shade in the main, is Mikhail gonna be looking there? Does he put his camera over there? Is he gonna realize, oh my god, that's a million hippos.
Oh, it's a million hippos indeed. But if the destroyers are gone, what are these for? Like, what do they provide? Nothing.
Yeah, I think Mikhail should just give up on air and just go all A-bombs, fiends,
Yeah.
and statues. Of course.
I mean, destroyers can be neat in the first moment to dispel a little. That's kind of cool. Yeah, he's
there we
going
go.
A-bombs. Oh,
4 A-bombs queued.
100 supply. Mikhail saw the run of production, starting that as well. Will not be caught with his pants down. He will have the tower support. He will be on Blight.
Those shades. Those are some of the best shades I've seen in a while.
We have seen a lot of shades, and they're getting better and better recently. So much information throughout the entire game. With all the knowledge, all the experience, he can evaluate the situation pretty much perfectly now.
So
This is going to be a fun fight to cast.
in these first 2 maps, there were a lot of engagements, and almost every time Moon came out on top just by the tiniest hair.
Yep.
The last spell,
Yeah.
the last staff,
Yeah.
the last heal scroll
Yeah.
was there for him and missing for Mikhail. It was so close every time. Now, 100 against 100. And there's still no wagons, by the way, which is kind of weird.
This is
But yeah, this is going to be a lot of dead supply soon. This
Yeah.
is 12 hippos or so. They're going to kill that destroyer real fast. But then there's going to be nothing to attack anymore.
Mikhail needs the A-bombs in front. Dangerous, of course. Wisp can burn a lot of mana if they are not sniped. Ooh, Fiends in front. So is this one. Okay. Is he ignoring the hippos? And is he just going for the front line? 200 supply fight right here.
Yeah, this is where you can't focus fire anymore. You have to A-click and just move back to keep units alive. A-bomb's having a tough time connecting. Mana burns looking really good. Heal scroll comes through right away. Oh, the Naga in trouble there for a second.
Lich.
So is the Lich.
Frost Armor helps you now, of course. Abominations are about to drop. New Roar can't be dispelled anymore. Lich under pressure, has the invul, has to go for it. Heal scrolls everywhere. There was the last one for Moon. Mikael still holding on to one. He also has a Nimble Potion, also a Mana Potion. The start was great for Moon, but can Mikael strike back?
A-bombs. Perhaps not doing enough damage over here. I think the wagons were really missing. Moon once again seems to be coming out on top with 100 supply. It is enough. The Demon got so much experience. He's close to level 6. Naga close to level 5.
Never could reach the Dryads, really. The A-bombs are gone, and Mikael taps out. The 100 supply fight on each side goes to Moon. A better engagement, a better concave, a little better preparation, and the victory goes to Jang Jae-ho.
Every single time, the outcome is just a little bit better for Moon. The engagement is just a little bit better for Moon. But a shame that wasn't the perfect position. The A-bombs were stuck in the back. Somehow they were late to the fight. Fiends were taken out right away. The Lich was in a bad position as well. He got mana burned really quickly. Normally the Lich is supposed to stay way in the back, always away from the Deminer, throw out the Novas, and if the Deminer is coming in to burn the Lich, that means he's not getting in a lot of DPS. With better execution there, more may have been able for Mikael. Also, if he goes for a little bit more items from the marketplace, a few claws, a pendant, maybe that can help. There were ways to optimize that late game for Mikael, but didn't quite manage to do that, I guess. But still, even without that, this was a really good game. Mikael had his lead there in the game for a while. He held his own once again, and he is absolutely not getting outclassed by Moon.
Exactly. But now he needs 3-0 against Moon, with one of his maps gone already. This is rough. This is hard. This is not impossible, though. We've seen so many turnarounds this year alone. Focus, just a couple of weeks ago, was down 0-2. And he won that thing against NEXT Final. 3-2 in the end. Nothing is impossible, but you need to get that little bit ahead. Long series already.
Highlight here. 3 A-bombs in the north, just stuck, not doing anything. There's A-bomb on one side of the battle, A-bomb on the other side, but not a big front line. The way he would have ideally liked to have it.
Yeah, that was definitely a mistake to have so much time and having the fiends in the front, not the A-bombs. Not too sure why you would keep the A-bombs in the back. There's no real solution, no real reason for that. Could have been optimized indeed. Maybe next game, next match.
Perhaps it's a little bit of experience that Mikael is still missing. And by that I don't mean experience lacking that A-bomb should be in front. He knows that, obviously. But in those super high pressure moments, after a bit of a lull as well, remembering everything, being ready for every attack, not feeling the pressure, being able to perform in every single regard, and thinking of everything as well. Thinking of the upgrades, thinking of the items that you can get from the marketplace. Because especially the upgrades there were super late, although at the end, he had 3-0 on the Fiends. He had, I think, 2 armor upgrades on the A-bombs, but honestly, there was no reason to get them that late and not earlier. But still, good performance by Mikael against any other Night Elf in the world. This may be a 2-0 lead for him right here. But Moon, he's showing up to play. Match point for the Night Elf, and so far, the fans seem to be right with their prediction.
We haven't seen a Keeper yet, by the way. It was a Warden start on TS, then a Demon Hunter on Echo. Time for the Keeper. Then is Moon willing to switch something up against WFZ on the third map? He pulled a Beastmaster. That was very ambitious. There was a reason behind that. He thought he would expand very much. And Mikael, he is expanding all the time. So Moon could also very well play a Keeper.
Yes, certainly. Keeper Mass Air, it seems like it's out of the meta, but maybe it's just on a little bit of a vacation. We had that before. 1.30 Keeper Mass Air was all the rage, very hard to beat. After 1.30, it seemed to disappear, but then it took Moon to rediscover it again. This is the tournament where apparently Keeper Mass Air isn't a thing. Maybe it's going to emerge once again more in the future. But perhaps this is the best moment to bust it out now. Not in the forefront of your mind, Keeper Mass Air, as it's not really being played at the moment. Maybe here, Moon could surprise Mikael. We're going towards Northern Isles. Certainly a Keeper Mass Air viable map, because you can play Keeper Mass Air anywhere.
This is exactly where the Beastmaster was played, right? And this is where he expected an expansion, wanted to rush it with mass. Didn't work against WC. We'll see if it works now. It was a little bit of a wrong read for Moon. Yes, that is possible. We will see Mikael, by the way, in the DreamHack Asia starting this Wednesday. He's gonna be up against 2 Night Elves there as well in Lawlight and Colorful. We will see how good his matchup versus Night Elf is there. Fortitude also in the group, because the Warcraft 3 festivities, they don't stop. Once we're finished with the WGL, we move over to DreamHack Winter. Last chance to grab some EPT points for the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice in 2021, where it's about $130,000. We have the playoffs for Europe and America this week, and Asia starts into the group stage, so follow us everywhere to get the latest news about that tournament, but follow us into Map 3 first. 3 match points in a row for the greatest Night Elf of all time. Mikael, can he strike back? Is RNGesus with him? We're in the bottom left. We got Moon aiming for that 3rd grand final in WGL history. And then it would be versus Infi. Can he crown his year? Still waiting for a big title in the second half of 2020. And Mikael needs a little miracle to continue the Cinderella story.
Moon just was that little bit ahead. That little bit of, I don't know, skill, luck, determination, Fort Minor references that was missing. Are we going to see a DK here? Very likely. What's Moon going to be playing? Keeper this time.
Okay.
Not too surprising, I suppose, on this map. You can creep level 3 very, very quickly with a Keeper. You can expand very quickly. You can harass pretty well. But of course, has a lot more downside in the late game compared to a Warden or a Demon Hunter.
Maybe that suits Mikael a little better. We got to the late game twice, to a pretty late game actually. And that is the weakness of the Keeper. But then, against the Keeper, you need destroyers. Otherwise everything dies to entangle. And then Moon's Hippo build is strong again. It was a lot of dead supply in map 2. Won't be the case here on Northern Isles.
The cool thing, already looking into the late game, is also with the Keeper, normally you should be able to grab map control when your expansion is faster and you have the bigger army. Even if the other gets the expansion up at some point, normally you as the Night Elf should get it faster. And on Northern Isles, if you have that map control, you can afford either a 3rd hero or a 3rd base, or, wait a minute, he denied the creep with the Ancient of War Moon. That is an insanely painful mistake.
That's how comebacks start. Feeling too sure for a second.
That's so bad. That's so bad. He's going to be stuck on level 2 forever. Because of that, he's going to be reaching level 3 way later. Normally, you would be coming in here right now with Entangle and Treants to harass, but now he doesn't have Entangle. I love the double Acolyte, by the way, in case one goes down. There's still a backup. Again, good last hit here for the DK. Another Wisp for the Dedo. There's still a bit of Blight there, though.
Moon also has a lot of Treants remaining. Would love to have Entangle now, of course. Point of mana stealing doesn't help him with that. Close to level 2, but not there. Instead, he goes for the tech. Mikael threatening his surround to buy some time for the Acolytes. This double Acolyte is new, right? I mean, we've seen double Skulls and all. But double Acolyte, I've not seen that before.
Yeah, new variation. Some undeads like going double Acolyte and keeping the one in the Night Elf main to always scout there. look for tier 1, look for mass hunts. Get ready for something like that. But here
一
it's
位玩家
just
的部
park
队
at the
正遭
expo,
到攻击，
trying to make sure that one doesn't die. Of course, when
一
there's
位
no
玩家的
entangle,
部队
that
正
acolyte
遭到攻击。
will never die.
Especially against Moon, you can never be sure that can, out of nowhere, be an engine of war on the upper left-hand side. That must be a surround. With the help of the trees. Oh no, he owns these trees. Weird situation with the treants in front. And in the meantime, the archers canceling the expansion.
Cool looking move for Mikhail, but this is actually a very bad move for him. This TP is easily worth it to be used by Moon, and absolutely not worth it for Mikhail. This delays the
一
expansion
位
by
玩
2
家部
minutes.
队正遭到
It
攻
was
击。
so smart for Moon to bait this, to move into exactly that spot where there's almost no surface area, because he knew that Mikhail would be greedy. He committed quite a bit to this. Wanted that TP gone from him. But yeah. Also, having the presence of mind to send the archers there for the attack without any protection, without the keeper around. Moon finding solutions even after a sloppy early game.
Now it's time for Mikhail to be aggressive. He's running across the map, and he might very well still have the timing to get that cancelled. This is Thorn's Aura.
Yeah, dude, what?
What?
I
Is
thought,
that-
like,
is that
what?
is that an ability? Is that what they call a spell? Oh my god, he doesn't see the Tree of Life. Tree of Life. It was right there. Nighttime, I guess.
Okay. Maybe the ghouls can get on top of the archers. The keeper is quite far away. That's one kill. Treant summoned. He knows where the keeper is. That's another surround right here. Dust is ready, so not even Shadow Melt is helping.
Is this even intentional? This looks like a misclick. Entangle focus fire is really good against ghouls. Oh, he might be getting surrounded! And now it really hurts that you don't have the TP, doesn't it?
This might just very well be the GG. Alchemist is coming in. Still good damage on him, but there's no way to prevent this Panda, of course. Oh, can he free his way? DK block and Frostborn Hungers. It is Drunken Haze, by the way, not Breath of Fire. So a lot of missed chances. It takes forever to kill this one, but at least he gets it. He also has a staff, so even if he's blocked and surrounded, he can get out. This did cost ghouls, but this is such a lead for Mikhail.
This was a good move for Moon, though. This was a good sacrifice. Got a lot of ghouls for that. Weird game. Thorn's Aura.
He's stuck.
The only way that this makes, I think, any sense is if he's clearly expecting Gargs versus Hippos. But even then, like, go for a Tome of Retrain. Jesus.
Expo's running over. And he built a Hunter's Hope. And is that lures or wins? We are not allowed to see that.
正遭到攻击。
So what's the game plan now? Second
If
crypt.
he goes Thorn's Aura too, I'm gonna lose my mind. on
So
that
the
three.
so the gamble on the air unit works so far. Mikhail will be going Gargs, likely. Not necessarily though. With the knowledge of the Thorn's Aura, should he be going Gargs? Or just standard? He looked very good with standard and then go for the Tinker again.
一位玩家的
It's
部
not
队
air for
正
Moon
遭到
anyway.
攻击。
It's Dryads. I think this was just a misclick, honestly. Like, these Thorns are making no
一位
sense so
玩家
far.
的部队正遭到攻击。
Even Moon can make mistakes, but I don't know. Maybe it is intentional. Would love for him to ask the question later. Because this is certainly puzzling. Mikhail doing a great job here delaying. The movement, again, by Mikhail. He always knows where he has to be, when he has to be aggressive, when he's supposed to fall back. He overextended into the keeper surrounds a little bit, but he's also got something for that. He got the TP and he got the hero kill after. He lost a lot of ghouls, yes, but of course he can replace those. Tier 3 finishes, Tier 2 finishes, excuse me. Tier 3 following up right after, and we have Fiends. No Gargoyles. Naga.
Okay, maybe he feels he has the advantage at the moment, wants to prevent the Keeper and Panda leveling even further. There's no entangle, he can hang around with the DK, there's no threat of being entangled surrounded. Also with the Fiends, like this helps the Fiends so much.
Yeah. Really does look quite strange. Naga second. At the moment against Dryads, not the most impactful. Against Archers and against Heroes, it can do a little bit. But if this game goes very late, which seems to be the theme of this series, then it's gonna make for a very strong undead tri-hero combo. If Mikael ever gets to 5, 4, 3 hero levels, his triple hero is gonna be so much stronger than the dual hero of Moon. It feels like Moon himself desperately needs a third hero.
There is enough experience on the map for that, for sure. DK rising up as well. Always a mana potion. Mikael, since the change of the mana potion cost and effectiveness. Oh, Sapper is constantly buying them. How effective is the Sapper gonna be? WFZ and Moon, they always play their Bombermans. There is
only
a
one though, right?
Spirit Tower, and it's only one. And their buildings are not too close together. Moon running in to distract, getting the attention of the Spirit Tower. So, no focus. He just wanted to get that damage dealer going.
TP back home. Ah, no, it's a fake TP. It was just a staff. Moon falls for it. Mika continuing to creep. He got the Healthstone. Very nice for the Naga.
So is he jumping on that panda? Can control him with crossed arrow. There's no staff. And almost a Fiend's Surround. DK repositioning. Always with the help of the terrain. Not this time though.
Oh boy. Entangle is really missing right now. Breath of Fire though, doing good damage. Naga dropping low. Good thing she just found the Hellstone. Gonna use it right away.
Keeper time now. He never rebought that TP. Mikael willing to go for the hero focus. Never too much damage from the Dryads, and that might bite him now. Reveal against the Burrow. Fiends might be falling. Naga is still in trouble. DK is low. Naga can't be coiled, of course. Into the safety of the narrow.
Mikael, where are your statues? You're supposed to have 2 by now. Not having them is breaking his neck. He's actually losing his heroes. What? And suddenly, out of nowhere, we thought this game was going to go long, but hell no. It might be ending right here. Invul for the Naga is over. She's dead as well. Oh my god, what a complete disaster. GG. That was very abrupt. Mikael was in a good position there that game, but Moon suddenly comes in with a Zapper, and his Dryad control, of course, is always outstanding, even without Entangle. How crazy. But of course, a massive macro mistake. Mikael didn't have statues there for whatever reason. He was supposed to have them. Also, Naga second, maybe not the perfect choice. Moon with the 3-0, the finalist we expected.
Okay, so Infi versus Moon, the grand final. What a grand final. That is $1 million prize money combined. That is not very often that we can say this. It's a 2-time champion and a 3-time finalist against a 1-time champion and a 2-time finalist. Both absolute legends of this game. And we couldn't really hope for a better final, if you ask me. In summer, we had Moon versus TH, and that was an incredible Human versus Night Elf. We also had Lawlight versus Infi twice in summer and now in the playoffs again. We also had Moon versus Infi before in the group stage. There, Moon looked outdated, looked outplayed. But maybe he can step it up now. This is gonna be a battle of absolute magicians with their race.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. Moon, I hope he did his homework though. Their first encounter was very, very clear, but that is one of the big strengths, one of the many big strengths of Moon. He can adjust masterfully, and what I always like to point out, you learn a lot more from your losses than you learn from your victories.
That is, of course, an unfortunate end to Mikael's run, but we have to point out how miraculous this was. He wasn't really a favorite in the group stage even, with Fly and Sock coming from a WCG and AWL victory. Xiaokai and him surpassed Sock, and he then beat Xiaokai. And he was never to get out of that, supposed to get out of that quarterfinal either. And then he 3-0'd 1-2-0. Mikhail with one of the coolest stories, with one of the coolest reactions that we've seen in all of professional Warcraft in 2020. And I really hope he gets motivation from this. He picks up the momentum, brings it into DreamHack, and starts shining there as well. We saw a Reddit thread appreciating Mikhail's performance before the tournament was even over. That sparked quite some joy in me. That was really nice. Today, he was bested by Moon. But come on, it's Moon against Undead. That can happen. That's no shame. Pick up
And
for
also,
Michael.
You know it was a 3-0, but if you analyze these games, and you want to be honest, these were close games. I'm not saying this to buff up Mikhail undeservedly. These were close games. Terenas stand, he was close to having a big lead. Echo Isles, he had a big lead. Northern Isles, he had a decent lead in the mid game. Being able to convert these leads into actual wins, that is where Mikhail at the moment is not able to do that against players like Moon. Against many other Night Elves, he would have won both those games. He may have been the one to play this 3-0. But Moon, I've seen him squash many undeads before with really good builds, and there was just no land in sight for the undead at all. 1-2-0 among them. This was not the case for Mikhail. He kept this very competitive for a very long time, but Moon also very amazingly was able to play 2-base and always come out victorious.
Yeah, while WFZ looked outclassed against Moon, this was not the case here, even if the results suggest something else. Finally, a deep tournament dive for Mikhail. We will be seeing him in the next game as well. It's going to be a game for third in a shortened best of 3, so not a best of 5, to give Moon a little bit of time to recover. It was at least a 1.5 hour series, so get some rest, get ready, and then it's time for the grand final afterwards. Maybe talk to a Lawlight, talk to a Sock, talk to a Chimiko. What can I do? Especially Lawlight as a practice partner of Infi and former opponent of Infi might help out here. That's your homework now. And Infi, he might be sitting back and thinking, oh, Night Elf? Night Elf is good. I play human against this. And of course, we get the winner interview with Moon. And for that, we call Mr. Wong again. Wong, welcome back to the broadcast.
Hello Moon，
Hello，
恭喜你拿下了比赛，恭喜。
谢谢。
好，那第一个问题啊，在第一张 TS 地图上，你是使用了 Warden 这个英雄首发，但以前
Hello Moon，
常用，是因为打这个
Congratulations，
特地做这样的选择。
Thank you. BBC asking, on TS the first match, you used Warden first, but seemingly you didn't use it very often. It's because of Mikhail, so you used that hero for the first hero?
서로가 잘 알다 보니 노재욱 선수가 미카엘 선수가 멀티를 할 거라는 걸 짐작은 했었고 워든으로 장기전 가야겠다 생각하고 오늘 경기 준비했습니다.
是的，因为大家双方已经是很熟悉了，是老朋友，所以我也考虑到他肯定会进行这个速分矿，所以我这边就准备了 Warden。
好，那么在第二局的 EI 地图上的这个比赛，
Yes,
80人口的情况
because we very familiar to each other, so I used a different strategy, so I prepared for Warden first hero. On EI, the second map, there are 80 supply version 80 supplies, but in the end you finish the fight with 100 supplies. So when do you decide to fight, in your opinion?
일단 시간을 너무 끌어서도 보는 입장에서 재미도 없을 거고 일단 업글 차이에서도 제가 몇 등이 높았기 때문에 100 인구수까지 만들면은 제가 러시를 가면은 이길 수 있겠다 생각을 하고 러시를 감행했습니다.
好，我考虑到这个持续的时间太长的话，整个比赛的观赏性会受相当的影响，而且考虑到双方这个攻防升级也应该差不多。如果报到100人口的话，我这边还是会更占优。
I consider that the time, if as long as the game go is the game will be boring and the game is so boring. But in 100 supplies, if I have the advance, so I will go for 100 supplies.
이 정도로 예상한다고 하셨습니다. 근데 결과가 3대 0으로 이겼었거든요. 그럼 이제 다음 차 경기에서
How do you think about in playing against Infi?
어떻게 예상하십니까?
How is the result? Will you predict?
인피 선수 워낙 잘하는 선수고 결승 우승 후보인 선수인데 저번처럼 쉽게 무기력하게 주지 않을 것이고요. 오늘 경기 준비한 대로 잘만 풀리면은 뭐 3대1, 3대1은 아닐 것 같고 3대2 인피 선수의 경기는 되게 힘들 것 같습니다.
英飞选手的话也是特别棒，所以我感觉很大的压力。所以我想，我这边因为准备的也比较充分，不至于像上次似的输的比较惨。那好好应对的话，我估计3比1。
Infi is very good.
3比2的话，可能
It's pressured me so much.
好的，谢谢莫文接受我们的。
But I prepared enough, not like in group stage.
谢谢，加油。
拜拜。好的，那这样的话，再次
I think will be 3-1 or 3-2, but not favor to anyone.
英菲选手进行这样一个比欧5局赛。
All
Good luck
right.
in the finals. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you, Wong. Once again, a wonderful job. Can't wait to have you by our side at DreamHack once again, and of course later. Absolutely stellar, fantastic man. What would we be without you? So, our game for third is coming up. It's going to be Fly versus Mikael in a best of 3. And then it's time for Infi versus Moon. The WGL Winter Grand Final for $30,000 plus. We have a couple of subs here coming in. Thank you, Lindfra. 7 months. Good job on the professional stream, boys. Thank you. Also, Apfelkuchen. Let's go, Mikael. Unfortunately, didn't work. MTP Huel. Go Lucifer also doesn't work. Riptide, 9-month resub. Another day of Warcraft 3. Love it. Great casts as always. Darkwing Duck with a 43-month resub. Mikael in semis. What the fuck? Yep, that happened. And Belusted, thank you for the 6-month resub as well. If you want to support what we do, then feel free to hit the sub button here. Get yourself some emotes and a chat badge. Or throw us a little donation. Every tiny contribution helps, even if it's $1 or $2. We love that. That is over at Streamlabs. You can find all the links in the About section. And while you're there, you can click us on social media. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Join the Discord. Sub on YouTube as well to not miss any of the games anymore and not miss any crucial information about the competitive Warcraft scene. In 8 minutes and 40 seconds, we are back with the game for third. Who's going to claim the bronze medal? Fly versus Mikael. Be right back.